all started, my grandfather migrated from Sicily. Yeah, just pretty much his clothes and a little suitcase with nothing in it, arrived in Australia, 2 to 3 months on a livestock ship to get here. They first went to up in North Queensland to cut cane. It was so hot and humid that grandfather got sick of it. He eventually made his way south to Stanthorpe, and this region reminded him of the region where he was from in Sicily. Eventually bought his first property, which was apples, pears and grapes. They had that for a number of years. They used to use horses to work the farm, and then slowly, gradually, my grandfather planted capsicums. So his whole patch for the year we put in one row these days. So a couple of thousand plants was the whole patch. We put in one row. So now we've grown to where it is to now, and yeah, anywhere from 2 to 3 semi-loads going a day. Yeah, well, we love it. You know, you see your brothers every day, your mum and dad every day, you work with them. Sometimes you don't see them, but most of the time you see them, and it's a great feeling to carry on the tradition, and capsicums is all we know. Like, you know, we've known it since we're little, and we're the 3rd generation, so yeah, it's good. John Deere's my passion. You know, when you got ground to prepare in such a short amount of time, they're going flat strap, and yeah, 12, 13 hours a day we sit in them and just haven't had an issue. We ran out of water on our home properties here, and that was the first time in history. We had a lease property probably an hour north here, and it was sort of a rushed adventure. So all of our John Deere tractors were going 12, 13 hours a day to get this ground ready in order to plant on time, and just day in, day out, got it done. And yeah, it just makes you love them even more. Not a problem in the world. If one of these machines stop, pretty much the whole show stops. From ground prep to planting, we need them to be there, ready to go, because with such a short season, it's come in, get it all done, and off to the next job. If they were to break down or something, even downtime for a week or something in the critical time, means that your plantings are going to be delayed. Therefore, you're not going to hit the market in that required time. And when you've got contracts to fill, you need to be starting on that time. So it's a domino effect. Without these machines, you wouldn't see them trucks in the shed, because we wouldn't be able to prepare the ground, get plants in the ground, pick the produce and get it to that shed. So without these tractors, it wouldn't exist. Every John Deere model, there's parts. We call them, so they'll pull a tractor apart or anything, and that's what we love. They're more than just the name. Like, even the older tractors still make parts. You know, other companies don't do it. So you can still get parts for the first John Deere ever made. Most of our tractors have triple link suspension, so when you're in 12, 13 hours a day, you honestly get out and you don't feel it. That's how good. And then, like a good seat, yeah, that many hours, like, you think, like, the seat is very important, and yeah, triple link suspension. Like, yeah, you actually don't feel it at all. So compared to an older machine, you'll be lucky to do, you know, 5, 6 hours before you start feeling it. Yeah. In 2018, John Deere that's 100 years of just building tractors. So if they don't know, nobody knows. Parts and backup is another thing we look at. Yeah, if you can't support, you know, your product, why bother having it? Yeah, people say, oh, John Deere's just a name, but they actually never owned one. When you do 12, 13 hours a day in them machines, not having a problem, and if something does go wrong, call the telephone, you've got parts. You know, there's no, oh, well, you have to wait 2 weeks, you know. No worries, we got it in stock, or we'll get it from Melbourne. Our closest Vanderfield branch is 2.5 hours away from here, and it's like having them in town. Say you break a window, they'll take it off one and bring it to us if they don't have it in stock. Vanderfield is more than just a dealership to us. They're more of a partnership with us. It's always there, phone call away, 2.5 hours, their dealership where these tractors were bought from. They feel like they're just in town. That's how good the partnership is. They actually care about what you do and what happens, and they're there to back it up too. Most people don't want to deal with it, like sell it, see you later, but they're always there. So they'll do anything to get us going, and that's everything.